All right, let's welcome Francesco from MetaMask to share with us the experience of building a universal Web3 interface. All right.
Yes.
Applause.
Sounds good. Awesome. Thanks, guys. How are you? Oh, cool. We have the slides on the right, on the left. Cool. So, how many developers are here in the room? Let's see some heads. How many develop on Flask? So cool. So I know a little bit like how tune in like the talk. Yeah. So how many of you heard about Snaps first? So because we launched Snaps on prod like a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, it's super exciting. But I mean, like, yeah, if you build a Snap before that, like you were actually like using Flask, and yeah, so we're super exciting. So this is a general talk. So I actually recorded also the demos because I know demos break on live presentations. So it will not be possible. But we just want to talk a little bit more high level. Why Snaps is not just about Snaps. It's more like the full vision around wallet development and unleashing like permissionless innovation and giving like the power to anybody out there, third-party developers, companies, to actually build open source feature extension on top of like layers, right? And it happens to be that we are covering the wallet ecosystem, but I think the same methodology like will be can be applied for any infrastructure level. So yeah, I'm Francesco. I'm part of the DevRel and community team, and for the past, I think, 8 years, I've been into developer communities, and yeah, I'm giving a bunch of like workshops, but mostly important like yeah, trying to connect developers with like cool tooling and being fully, let's say, unleashing their kind of power for in hackathons and more. Also, like how to stay involved in the ecosystem, right, with grants and just further develop their product from like zero kind of to hero. Cool, let's start. So, and feel free to jump in if you guys have any questions or remarks or note, or if you have any problems with anything I'm saying. I'm super happy to like debate that and see what is actually going on. I don't know if the clicker is working, but so first principle, user own account, right? So those are kind of the 5 things that I think like it matters for like wallet development, wallet security, but most important, like how user care on those principles. And that's where MetaMask, but just not MetaMask, Consensus in general. So MetaMask is Consensus is the parent company. So under Consensus you have like tooling from like Infura, Linea, like fully like ZK EVM, and obviously like MetaMask is one of them. So user own account is one of the big principles. When you want to build something, it's all about like users will own their identity. They want to have a fully ownership and be kind of like able to understand what actually transaction they're doing and how they're interacting with the extension. I don't know if many of you guys actually revoked access with a Google Chrome extension. I don't know. Raise your hand if you actually like know how to do that, because a lot of time I even didn't do it before. We have a lot of like Google Chrome extension that are actually like yeah, transacting while you're browsing, and actually no one is really caring about that. That's why like I think like users should be owning much more, not just their accounts, but their information and transaction. So user own accounts is one of the big principle. Second, accessible interface. You want to have obviously like a customizable and comprehensible interface. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think we will see the same wallet interface for any users in the future, right? You will have NFT heavy users, you have DeFi heavy users, you have security focused users. So I think like in the future we will have much more customizable wallets, but also customizable journey, right? So explicit request, you want to also make sure that the users is always like in control of how they are behaving in terms of like what they're doing with the extension and with the dApp directly. And I think like it's also need to be super transparent. And how many of you guys revoke access in MetaMask directly, not just locking their wallet? Cool. Okay, some people are doing great. This is also like a good practice. Revoking permission, that's basically what we talk about, but also like we want to be able all the time to understand how we are transacting with dApps, but also most important, how we are how we can revoke access or not just deny access to a dApp. And I think it is also one big part. And I think one of my biggest principle here that I'm always trying to advocate is that whatever we build, we want to make sure that we are sharing with the community, with the company, like full on a progression level, right? So you want to be able to extend the functionality of what you're building. So build on top is one of the most important part. Because today, especially like in Web2, you have basically company building products, and the only things that you can do as a community is giving feedback or open like issues and PRs, right? But I think, there is much better way to be part of the innovation and actually like build progressively the tech stack offered by the company. Cool. So what the wallets look like? So I don't know how to answer this question. I will tell you what the wallets will not look like in the future. So I think like PvP we will not have, like more players versus players. And I think that's one big part. We will not have one size fits all. So today we're building not just wallet, but I think like different tech stack are being built in a similar manner. We are building different ecosystem, different silos, and yes, we have different interoperability like technologies, right? But right now, like a lot of like those ecosystems are being built on top of things, and they're not really speaking with each other. I don't know if many of you guys, develop on Rust, but for example, my journey was I started a lot with Solidity. Then I went testing around different ecosystem, and then I came back to Solidity, but not because of the product, because Solidity is not the best programming language, but because like the ecosystem support, the initiatives, literally like everybody's so kind of like accessible in terms of like things about you can do. I don't know if many of you guys develop on Cairo. I mean, 2.0 is great, but I had a lot of like issues at the beginning also with Cairo onboarding. Cool. Third part, one entity knows best. I don't think like we will get on a level that a single company know what features need to be developed. I think community will drive features innovation. I think that's also what is super exciting. I'm just jumping back always on my laptop because I need to click. But basically like I want to just resume those 5 principles around what we need to care about, not just wallet development, but any tech stack. So we want to put always like a user-centric innovation. We want to understand, like users need to not just have full control of their access, but also like in a full transparent way. They need to understand how they are behaving with the dApp. And I think that's also like why consent is kind of king in those parts. So everything is about trust. Obviously, like you wanna have fully trust, but the trust is coming from the dApp and the interaction with the dApp being fully transparent. So also like in your experience, you need to see exactly how the extension or the dApp is behaving with your wallet. And that's how you're empowering much more like users and users' decisions. And basically like here, like it's all about the concept of permissionless innovation, right? Like you don't want to build like another aggregator of like, extensions. Like what you want to do is a fully decentralized way, audited way to actually like have innovation being powered by community builders. Yeah, that's basically what I mentioned. So community first, so user-centric and community first feature development. And so this is where we're resuming this kind of permissionless innovation concept. And I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I think the only way that we are actually like reaching a better like, Web3 vision is having a much stronger how do you say, like feature development driven by community members, right? This could be like, third-party individual developers, but could also like range from startup to companies. Cool, no one is sleeping until now, so it's great. So I have this, so this is like a kind of like a sales video. I just wanted to show you and put some music on so that everybody's waking up. But we launch all these kind of like snaps directory at permissionless a couple of weeks ago, and this is the video that we show literally to the public. And this snaps directly is nothing else as 36 whitelisted snap built by third-party developers. I will talk about what snaps are. Long story short, they are basically adds-on or extension on MetaMask. And those are not owned by us. They're all third-party builders in the community. Let's see if it's working. If the sound is working. No, it doesn't. You can hear. Cool. So do we have a round of applause or not? Very good, very good, very good. So let me switch slides. Sorry, I figured out the video, sorry, the sound, the last part. But so what are snaps? So as you see here, like in the video, we have three main categories. We will go through a little bit, but as we mentioned, snaps are nothing else as like extra features that are extending the functionality of what the wallet today. Today, you cannot extend UI-specific behavior, and we're working on that, and I think that's also super exciting. But today, you can do things like, do transaction on BTC, do getting notification if you're a game users, do use the Cosmos Snap to interact directly with Atom, or like deploy stuff on I don't know, and use Starknet. Like, so those are in the interoperability snap. You have notification snap. Even we will show. I mean, I would show you like the chat-to-chat snap that is actually super cool. We will also see the other categories is called transaction insights category, that you literally have like a feature where you show you like if you're behaving. If you're interacting with a malicious contract, and I think this is also super cool, because today, even like myself, like privately, like a lot of time, you have no idea what address you're interacting with, and before even doing this decision about approving your transaction, you want to have more data points. Cool. So I think we understood. This is all about having add-ons, and fully customize like your experience on that. So those are like there are three main categories here. Show it in the, I mean, there are 6 in total, but 3 are the one like on the directory. And those are interoperability, transaction insights, and notification. I don't know, like if you're building, I don't know, like a DeFi protocol or a full, I don't know, like trading bots, like, or even like if you're playing with some dApps. I don't know, maybe if you guys did some gaming, Web3 gaming, but sometimes it's quite painful because you cannot do batch transaction. I think for game developer here, you should try a MetaMask SDK, or like just using like Unity assembly. That SDK also is there. But a lot of time, even for users, like approving a batch transaction, it's a pain. You'd never get notification. You did like different things, like for example, automatic approvals. It's something that doesn't really exist on more like on a wallet level. This is something like with the notification snaps is getting super excited. There are like so many, like in ETH Denver. So I presented like the same slide with all the category that I thought about, and there were something like 25 different categories, right? Account abstraction, identity, privacy. Those I think like very interested next topics. But there are so many other type of snaps that you can think about. So anything that is ranging from scalability, security, privacy. Even like social graphs, like there are people now building lens snaps that are actually super cool. They are basically like doing specific transaction within all the lens ecosystem, but without actually going to and install further like dApps on that. Cool. What about security? So this is like all about those principles before, right? So snaps is kind of like enabling like a new like extension, right? Snaps can interact with any API stack out there, not like the extension, because so today MetaMask has the Playground API. You can check all of the reference API lists. But the cool thing is that snaps can interact with any product stack. So you can build, even if you have any product that you want to use, you can basically build a snap going and transacting with this product, and the snap will basically like be fully compatible with the extension. So that's also like quite good. This is something that we will see in the demo. But the long story short is that when the user is installing the snap, you literally see every ask from the snap to the extension. And you can even see like, you know, sharing, getting access to the Wi-Fi. It's super cool because without, and I wish this will be the same standardization around you know, Google Chrome extension, for example. But that's basically like how you install a snap, from allowing the website to communicate to like access the internet, and we will see the wallet guard snap. That's a transaction inside snap, and for the developer here, like the snap is nothing else as a manifest JSON file, and it's a bunch of pure like npm code that you can just use and install. At the end, I also have a QR code if you want to build a snap with like a monorepo that you can use, and some like a transaction inside example that you can fork it and build on top of that. Cool. So security come first. We mentioned that. So let's see some demos. I don't know. I want to also take some questions. The idea I thought about like having some different demos from the 3 categories. So this is the directory, how it look like. There is no sound, so sure not scared. We have integrated notification transaction insights. So I want to show you like first one, the transaction insight one. So Wallet Guard is a cool startup. But basically, this is how it looks like. So you're installing your Wallet Guard snap. You're connecting. You need to approve the transaction. How like what is happening. So we are approving. My Wi-Fi at the hotel this morning was a bit slow, so you will see like a slower process. So now what happens with literally 2 clicks, we install the snap directly on our production MetaMask. So that's my test MetaMask. So and basically like we are doing a test transaction. So this is I don't want to spoil, but this is like a malicious account that was happening for a phishing attack a couple of months ago. What we're seeing here is basically like we're doing the transaction, right? We're clicking next. We're selecting, you know, how much money do you want to send. And the cool things right now is before even confirming, you will see like a pop-up is basically a tab here. Like basically you have 3 providers right now: BlockFence, Clarence, and Wallet Guard, because I installed already the 3 transaction insights snap. And you will basically like be prompt here on what the transaction will look like. So you will have a BlockFence analysis, how is detected, Gobra. So basically like you have a full let's say third-party data points on the security on the account that you're dealing with. And yeah, so that's actually super interesting, because so BlockFence is detecting it. Now we're going through the other, like Wallet Guard, and basically is loading the transaction inside on the Wallet Guard side. Boom, like warning, this is a malicious address. So you're sending this, the risk factor, and I think this is super cool because I don't know how with you guys, but I don't know, like I'm using it every day now. Because it's just giving more insights on what is happening. So this is an example of the transaction inside Snap, and yeah, I think it's super interesting. So now let's see the second example that I prepped here. So all the transactions that we're doing when we're sending transaction, they are basically encrypted, right? So these cool guys, I think from last year, hackathon, they basically build a wallet-to-wallet chat, because literally like why not sending like actually amount of data, they're already encrypted. And this demo is with the wallet chat snap, and we will see first how we are sending a message like through MetaMask from account to account. So here, I don't know if you're realizing, but this is not like, you know, a fully centralized way. This is from an account to account. And then what we will do, we will see a notification. I started the notification snap afterwards. Cool. So I'm basically like putting from which account is going. Montoya is my colleague, by the way. So we are sending a GM, obviously. It's not morning. But, and basically what's happening here is that on the left side, you see the other account. That's why like we put the second interface. On the right side is the other account. So boom, GM, we send a message. Now you're asking yourself, okay, where is the notification? So I will show you in the other demo. So now I installed the notification snap. So you will see basically a pop-up. And this is happening on the extension, but you can also set it up that is coming directly to your iOS, for example. So it will be popping up also on your right side. And think about this now we're just doing wallet-to-wallet chat, but it could also be like a game where you get notification, or you're like a bot that is executing a special events and triggering a special notification. So here in notification snap, you will see, okay, one unread message from walletchat.fun. And yeah, we will see what's that. And it's probably like the GM that we sent before. Cool. So there we are. I think that's it. And basically when you're approving it, you will see it here on the right. Cool. So this is the one. I think we're almost at time, but I want to show you like this one interoperability snap. So right now we have different snap. We have the file snap. You can actually store information on IPFS. You have Cosmos snap. You can do interaction. We have Starknet snap. This is the first layer 2 snap that is actually super cool. And this is the BTC snap. So I want to show you the BTC snap. So how we are doing a test transaction on the testnet BTC, not mainnet. Because I'm not, I spend all my money to come to and flying here. I'm joking. But this is basically Xeon is a third-party developers that build this snap. And what you're doing here is we are installing the snap. And right now, as you saw, snaps are being prompt from independent apps. And what you are doing here is we're sending testnet BTC. Directly through MetaMask, so that's actually quite powerful. Because today, if you need to have a specific transaction, what you can do, you just need to go on other chain. So this is how to show like the first big iteration on how snaps are working today, and yeah. The past like 18 months, there were a lot of snap being built on Flask and now we're super excited just to extend more and more functionality. Cool. I think that's enough about that. So yeah, what I mentioned right now here, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So we want to doing things right. We want to enable and really give users the power to install what they see, to have transparency in the installation process, and to have also like power in terms of revoking access to the extension. So it's fully transparent and really owned by users. This is like what I mentioned before, is the Snaps developer resources. Here you have a QR code. We can see it. I don't know if we have time, but if you're checking out this Snap discussion built by a colleague of mine, you will see you have different reference snaps. You have both demos and repos. My suggestion, if you're in this hackathon, you want to build a snap, or in general, if you want to submit a snap to the directory, what you can do is going in the mono repo and literally like talk one of snap here, or you just use the template snap. I think that's so that's it. So this is regarding the starter guide, getting started guide. Then here are some other cool example. This is also like a transaction insight from another company. This is the Starknet snap. You can check it out. And we're pushing a bunch of infos also on MetaMask Dev. So I think that's it. So yeah, I think if you guys, I'm super excited because like this is unleashing much more innovation around the feature development of wallets. You know, I believe in the future we will have much more standardization. And today, by the way, like if you want to build Snap, we have also MetaMask Grants DAO is a 2.6 million a quarter grants that you can submit to. And yeah, feel free to ask any question around Snap privacy or user ownership of snaps. Thanks, guys.